dog. People nag-anisip iyo dapat na sa iba. Dapat na sa iba. Nag-anisip iyo kuan. Isuba ko sa iyo ni Kuchiyo. Swede ma iyo. Yan kawat ako ka iyo. Kibigin.
So I just wanted to say, we're doing a conference next door. So after, if you guys want to step over, we're doing a medicine conference. We have some guests in it, so if you guys want to stop over after, you're more than welcome. So I just wanted to say that.
Miigwech, Maryland. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. It is 9:19. Alan, you want to do roll call, please?
Mr. Chair, District 1.
Here.
District 3.
Here.
And I'm here, Mr. Chair.
We have a quorum. Our next step is review and approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, there was just one addition. I wanted to add 8th Fire Solar proposal.
8th Fire, okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I would like to just get a consensus on ICW advocates and the board being put back in place.
Any that was to bring the board back?
Yes.
Okay, we could probably do that then, since we're not really talking about cases, we could probably bring it up in the general meeting.
No, it's just, you know, to get our advocates on board and to get our board back so they can help our families that are going through, they need to be heard. But the ICW advocates would be separate from ICW. I think they'll be going through courts and they will be there to help them through working through ICW, and they'll kind of be like peer support for them or something. So, and I think that's well overdue.
Do you want someone from ICW or from someone to come to like a talk about it, or?
No,
Or
it's
you just
like,
want us to enact it?
I would just like to get, enact it, you know, so that we can get it going. Because we already talked about it and it's been over 6 months, so, you know, somebody was supposed to do the job descriptions for the advocates, the board we appoint. But I think there was an active board and I'd just like to bring them back, and if, you know, if like districts need to appoint, let's appoint, get that going again.
Okay, well, we can add that at the agenda here. So. Good. A motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Alan,
Second.
second by Annie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Next up is review and approve the meeting minutes for 2/2/22, 2/3/22, and also 2/4/22.
Mr. Chair, just a couple of minor edits on 2/4/22, page 11 of 18, second paragraph. There's a typo, I believe. It said 500 billion. I think it meant to say million. And then on the bottom there it says, releasing the final $1 million payment. I think it's releasing the next phase. And then on page 6 of 6 on February 3rd, special executive meeting, top of page, title Star Lake. I think it meant to say Star of the Lakes Hotel. With those modifications, Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the changes for all of the minutes.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes for 2/2/22, 2/3/22, and 2/4/22. Motion by Alan. With the changes.
Second with the changes, Chair.
Second from Raymond with the changes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up are the officer reports, and I go first. First, I want to say it'd be good for everyone for showing up today. I know it's been a long winter, and finally the weather's breaking, and it's like getting warm out, and it feels good to be outside once again. So that's one thing I look forward to this March and the spring is, of course, the change in the season, the equinox, and also the SERPs running, and just a lot of stuff happening outside right now, and it's a good feeling, and I know that all of us are kind of relieved that this cold snap has kind of lifted. So, and I want to be thankful for that, and thankful for Merlin's prayers, and it's one part of all of us, as Anishinaabe, that we have to remember that our language is who we are. So it's something I really think that was really, really good today. It made me feel really good today. So I want to say a big wish to Merlin. And getting back to my report, I know one of the things that we've been looking at is some of the COVID numbers have kind of been really decreasing a lot. And of course, it still is. We're still, as RBC, we're still in the emergency mode still. And I know we're going to have to review that here soon and still keep our guards up. And that's one thing that, as White Earth, we've been, one of the top of the nations across our country for, preventing COVID and the spread of COVID to all of our people and our elders. So, and getting out information, getting out vaccines, and what we could do is the best we can. So I know it's been a really good. I'm really happy for our health division and also our council for reacting so fast to this pandemic that we went through. So that's some good news around the corner. Then the other one is, was working on was, right now legislation is, where I'm on weekly calls with MIGA and the sports betting, and that's kind of just going through the first part of legislation. So, and that's something that's been kind of, for us as, in this new realm of sports betting and different online stuff is, being updated with all this is, it's really, it's a lot of information. So I know that we are collaborating with the other tribes, and it's going to be a really good, I think if it goes through that, I think where the tribes are going to turn out pretty good with this, I hope. So praying for that too. Then the next thing I've been working on is with council too is our cannabis. I know that we've been moving forward in legislation with this, and today at 3 o'clock, me and Lenny have to be on for the state senate hearing. We'll both be testifying in behalf of White Earth Nation that that we have a couple things that we're trying to get approved. One is transportation for testing. The other one is the recognition of our cards. And the third, a tribal state compact with the state of Minnesota. So, but so far, I mean, through legislation, through the House part of it, it's been really good. And now we're coming up to the meat and bones of it with the Senate. You know, the Senate being, you know, it's a little tougher than what we just dealt with. And today's going to be a good, how it's going to go through. And we're working right along parallel with Red Lake Nation because we're the only two nations in Minnesota that's going down this path so far. And of course, we're advocating for all the tribes and, you know, being with the referendum in 2020 and 90% of the people, you know, wanting medical cannabis. You know, it's one thing that we as a council, we're really pushing hard to get to our membership for healing and our medicine. So that kind of tops off my report. And again, you know, Miigwech, and, you know, hopefully we have a good spring, a good SERP run. So I'll hand it over to Alan Miigwech.
Thanks, Mike. I do want to thank the folks for coming here today. I know we have our another regular meeting coming up here at the end of the month, and so there's a very, very busy schedule, very, very busy agenda that we have here, and I do want to thank the staff for their diligent work that they're doing to make sure that all this work is done and complete. Some of the stuff that's recently been happening, I know there's been a couple of questions that I've received related to the Minnesota Chippewa tribe, and I've asked that it be put on the agenda today for there was a vote taken back in January, and I know the legal department is going to be presenting on it. I wasn't at the meeting, but it was something to do with the sovereignty of each band or something like that. But I know Lenny's going to present on it later today. And then there was a certification meeting for Leech Lake, and then there was the censor meeting for Fond du Lac that had happened last week. Or that was this week, I should say. And so there's been a lot of activity at the Chippewa tribe. I know that a lot of folks are calling me about the weather warming up and clearing up. And so, like myself, I enjoy going out and fishing and everything like that, but I want to remind folks to be safe as the weather warms up. Getting out on that ice can be dangerous. And so just please be sure to watch the reports on that and checking in with the White Earth DNR, making sure that you're safe. Also, I know Sandy Lake is being discussed. We've passed motions to support Sandy Lake consistently, and I know that our lobbyist team is working with them. I'm not on the 1855 board, but I know Raymond might touch on it. I know there's an upcoming meeting for them that could be should be worth noting because they do have a lot of important things that they're working on. Also, also on the agenda today is the Public Utilities Code. This is for consideration for the RBC and for the members to take a look at. I encourage you to take a look at it. I know that'll be presented as well. And finally, I know that the annual audit for the Shooting Star, I have it on my desk here. I'll be asking that the CFO for Shooting Star presented at the next special meeting, Mr. Chair. That being said, I do want to thank everyone for coming out today, and thank you.
Excuse me. Bonjour, good morning, everyone. Been a cold winter, but we are actually starting to get nice warm weather again, and it's good to be out and about. You know, I just attended a housing meeting yesterday, and we found out that we are looking into getting 20 more homes, and which will be divided between the 3 districts. Also, the clinic in Rice Lake is ready to open, but because of the pandemic, the ones out in villages have been closed until then, but hopefully we can get those up and running. We can have a ground, or not a grand, but a grand opening for the clinic up there. And we are working on the breaking of the ground for the tiny homes up in Rice Lake. There's eight tiny homes coming up that'll be for our elders, 55 and older, for the homeless. Let me tell you, it really looks good on paper. I hope it looks as good, which I'm sure it will. The new hotel in DL is now open, and we are taking the homeless in, because I know I get a lot of calls for people wanting to stay at the hotel, and it gets kind of hard to tell them no, but we can only help them so many times within a certain time. Last night I had 3 calls alone. And it's very hard to tell them no, but they have to start utilizing the place in DL there. Also, the COVID, is starting to go down, but the chairman said we can't let our guard down because it could come back in a quick hurry. So, and I noticed this morning I come in and I have my mask on, everybody's looking at me and I'm thinking, well, how come nobody else has their masks on? But anyway, I prefer to wear my mask because I got underlying conditions. So those of you that have underlying conditions, I asked, that maybe you should wear your masks. I think it was last week we had a meeting with the Sisseton, Wahpeton Sioux tribe who came over and visit with us, and they're really interested in what we're up to here on White Earth. They do want to come back. They didn't say they'd had any luck in the casino, but they did enjoy the visit we give them. I know Mike and I give them a tour of the factory over there and our new home coming up over there for the homeless. And just to end with the 1855 treaty meeting is next Wednesday in Sandy Lake at 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's actually it's actually not in Mille Lacs. It's up by I forget the name of that Palisade. So, but with that. Glad to see you all here, and regrets to Merlin for giving us our morning prayer.
Bonjour, everyone, and good morning, and thanks for attending today. I'm happy to say that the Elders Fund is off and running. I know that the Elder Program is handling the smaller amount. I think it's $1,000 per elder, and they are buying refrigerators, washer and dryers, stuff like that, or if it's a window that needs replacement, stuff like that. And I know housing has been taking several apps. I don't know if they're gonna put a deadline on that. We got, I think it was 12, 12, and 11, the split up was, but that's how many houses we're gonna be able to do. And we even looked into if we can use that money if, the houses are so bad, if we can buy trailer homes. I think that was allowable, but the problem there is we can't buy no trailer homes to buy because most of them are, even the used trailer places are looking for trailers to buy themselves. So, but that's an option, if we can find one for somebody that, it's just like we don't wanna just go in there and put a Band-Aid and then they're in trouble again, in 6 months. So, but we'll keep searching for that. We did have a meeting yesterday. The credit union will be merging with Affinity Plus. There's still some issues. I asked them to put out written up statements so we can look at what they're actually gonna provide our members. And then there was some issues with the machines, the cash machines where you can draw cash off. So we're gonna, I asked the Shooting Star to send us some info too on that because I think our members deserve to withdraw money if they're part of the credit union for free. And if you're part of Shazam, you would be able to, withdraw out of that machine for free. So I'm waiting for that info to come back, but this merger, the first step is gonna take place April 1st. And then come June, I think she said June 1st, that any members, they'll actually have a walk-up machine where you can get your new debit card. They'll have that, or you can call them and they'll issue a new debit card by mail, which I thought was great. You know, you can go right in there and get your debit card. Now, I don't know where that machine will be, and she said that might not happen until April 4th. But, you know, anybody that's a member will get their new cards, new checks, and your first box of checks are free if you do checks. The funeral buildings, we just got approval to go ahead and get the schematics and that done on that. That was done yesterday. So I'm pulling for White Earth and Pine Point right now because that's my districts. We did get a little bit of a design, but it's really not what, you know, we wanna kind of make them traditional for our people. So we're gonna just kind of have to sit down and look at that and see what else we can do with it. But, you know, I really want that for our district because, I mean, you know, we have the community center now in full use. So, you know, I'd hate to interrupt any of their stuff because we're getting a lot of good feedback on what our community council is doing. Drugs and alcohol, I made the decision that, you know, if I know that you're a drug or alcohol user and you need a room, I will no longer utilize the Shooting Star. The reason for this is a hub. You know, I'm sorry to say that, but it is. You know, it's a hub for a lot of our users and a lot of our people that abuse alcohol. I will assist, you know, I'll try to get them into our hotel in DL. If not, you know, wherever they're closest to, which most of my district is closest to DL, or Park Rapids, you know, I'll try to set them up over there instead, where they don't have easy access to their drug or alcohol of choice. And that was my decision, and it was hard, you know, but I don't wanna be the one, you know, getting that call, you know, one of our members, we lost enough already. The warming houses, I just talked to Clinton and it sounds like he's working on that. He can give more information on that. This was something that should have been in place a long time ago for our members, but you know, we're working on it. And Sam, I wanna let you know, I don't see Tito, but on Monday, we're having a viewing of the plans for Strawberry Lake on the side where all the buildings are. If you wanna come and look at that plan at 1 o'clock, it'll be downstairs, you know, so the elders can have input on that too. I think it's great, we're gonna, you know, finally start moving on that. It's gonna be, I think it's a family right now, family treatment is what they're going for. I did meet with Clinton and Dave MacArthur on our youth programs. It was a great meeting. We have a lot of work to do there. With COVID, the schools weren't really referring kids over, and ICW hasn't been either, but you know, our kids do need help. And I think that program does a great job. So we're gonna work on that and get him up to par on all his staff and hopefully get that running again. And it, you know, the kids don't have to have, you know, not only getting in trouble with the law. It could be, you know, they need somebody to talk to, you know, just whatever, you know, reach out to Dave and reach out to that program. Because I think they can and will do great things for our children, you know, to keep them out of the court system. The COVID, the new thing went out yesterday that, you know, we don't require masks unless you wanna wear them, but staff should be wearing their masks, which I don't agree with that, but, you know, I'm only one person. And yes, I'm gonna be asking for the ICW advocates and the board to come back because we need them for our people. Our kids are being exploited, if you ask me. So that's one thing I'm pulling for. Also, I wanna mention that the White Earth Community Council will be having a meet and greet for the Secretary Treasurer on March 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. And, you know, if you're undecided or whatever, come listen, come meet them, you know, and that's it, Chimi Glitch.
Good, Shani. Thank you. Thank you, Council. Next up on the agenda is the elder updates.
Thank you for having us today. Our chairwoman is kind of under the weather for a few days, and she asked me to step in for her. She didn't send me a lot of issues, but we have a few, and I want to thank Curtis and Laura for giving us an update on the bus with all the plans and stuff in there. What they have been doing over the last year since August 7th, 2019 till present. Thanks, Curtis, for that, and I know Laura's gone today, but I'll thank her when she gets back. We had a few issues with different things out in Pine Point. I still need a key card for that community council building out there, community center. We've got a few people working on it. Bernie was here last week at the meeting, and he said he was going to find one and stuff. So if that could be on the agenda for something we need. And right now we're working on a forum for at the casino here on the 26th for an all candidate forum. And it's pretty well completed. We met Tuesday on it up here, or Wednesday, I guess it was. And we worked on it. We've got the ground rules pretty well all set up. And I'm going to make some copies I'll pass out to the different people from the different districts and stuff so they can have them. And this will be on Friday or Saturday, is it? The 26th is Saturday, the 26th, and from 10 to 4 p.m. And all the candidates have been in. The candidates are all welcome, and we sent RSVP out to all tribal members that will be voting. They can come and have questions. We'll have it in probably one of these rooms, so maybe the whole event center on that date. So there'll be late refreshments. And right now we pretty much got it split into two different sections. We will probably do district secretary treasurer one first, and that way the people that aren't voting in district, for the district candidates, they can leave and stuff, but we want to have the people that can vote for secretary treasurer be on the board first and on that forum first. And our moderator will be Natalie Arthur, and he will be doing the moderating, and we'll work it like for people that used the one 4 years ago, or when it was, we'll be doing the same format when Mike Rock did it. You'll be able to put letters down, a notepad with 3 questions, and it'll be put in a box, and we'll draw them out. We're going to try and get as many questions to the candidate as we can, the candidates and stuff. We've got pretty much our council paid Shooting Star Casino $800, I believe, for all the necessities we needed to use the room here and stuff. We didn't have a lot for food, so it'll be just a light lunch unless the RTC wants to kick in and put a little bit more. I don't know, but we will be doing that, and we're working on that pretty heavy right now and stuff. And I will get this copies made when I'm done here and bring them back into you. Some of the other issues we're still working on with the RTC on the congregate building in Whitehurst. DW Jones Management. I hear you guys are probably having problems getting somebody to redo that. So Kurt, you're gonna bring that issue, answer that issue. So we'll look forward to hearing from you on that issue. And then, I got a tax number. I applied for a grant for $1,000 worth of gas to Itasca Mantrap Services over there. Being we're Pine Point's in their area, and they've got an Operation Roundup. I applied for that. They wanted a tax number and a budget and a lot of stuff that we didn't have right at the moment. But I turned that in I had to have it in by the 15th, and I got that in. And hopefully the elders ban that we got with gas prices going up, that $1,000 will come in handy for that. Yep, that's the one that uses the food shelf for White Earth and Pine Point. So. And hopefully we'll get that grant. I'm working on that a little bit. You got anything else, Joan, you wanna?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about garbage. It's been an ongoing problem over at the congregate. And now that the snow is melting, it seems like everybody's got that problem. And I was going to ask, the people that rent from housing, are they required to pay for their own garbage? Is there any way that you can include that in their rent and then have White Earth pick up all of their garbage? Because we end up with a lot of it and it does not come from our building. And it's atrocious, it's disgusting, and it's really bad. We end up with stained up old mattresses, and this is year round.
We're gonna bring up.
Yeah, I know you do a cleanup like once or twice a year, but this is ongoing year round for us. And it just looks awful because it looks like we're living in a dump ground over there.
I'm pretty sure low rent houses are paid for. But I don't think like mutual help in that is, so I don't know why they're dumping over there. They just have to put it at the end of their road or the end of their driveway.
Because they're too darn cheap to pay for it themselves. They can drag it over to our building, but they can't take it out where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, low rent don't pay, so all of them should be fine. I don't know about the rest of them.
On a final note, the White Earth Elders Council will be starting their meetings in April. Our first meeting will be in Pine Point on April 5th, which is the same day as the elections. And the second one will be in Elbow Lake, and then it'll be, I think, Maidawar. Do you have that schedule?
I don't have it, no.
But the schedules are all posted out in the community centers, so.
And in the newspaper.
And it's in the newspaper, and it'll be posted at the EMP sites for our order meetings for 2022. But that first one will be at Pine Point on April 5th, and that's a Tuesday, which is the same day as the election. So I talked to the EMP site and arranged out there and asked that they have probably a bigger dinner than what they usually have due to the elections and our meeting being there at the same time, because there'll be people coming in from White Earth for our meetings and some from Elbow Lake and every place else too to eat at our Pine Point EMP site. So, if you guys want to make a note of that, you're welcome to attend our meetings, and we're looking to have bingo, maybe following it or something that afternoon. Other than that, I don't have anything else, I guess, that I can bring up. Tito didn't give me anything. So, all right, thank you for having us today.
Good. Sean, what time did you say that forum was?
That forum will be
10 to 2.
Oh, 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
What day?
Actually, it's gonna go 10 to 4.
What day?
10 to 4.
26.
Actually, be, because
26?
it's 4 hours, there ain't, you know, they want to have a 10-minute question for each candidate, 10 minutes per candidate, just for an introduction, it'll take 180 minutes. You know, that's 3 hours right there, just an introduction. So we're limiting it, the candidates, 3 minutes per question and stuff, and we've extended it to 4 o'clock, or so we can get more questions to the candidates.
Just a suggestion, they had that forum down in the cities and they asked that each candidate bring some type of a dish or something or to donate for a lunch or something.
Yeah,
That's up to you guys, I mean.
We paid, our budget came through from the casino when we had requested a budget, and they just wanted, like, there'll be rolls, like we got here in the morning, and then at lunchtime, we'll have cookies and refreshments then too, so. But if the RTC can chip forward on something and have maybe like a little sandwich board, jelly like they got here, that would really help us out too, so. We'll see how it goes and stuff. Thank you. And any questions for me from the rest of the board or anybody? All right. Thank you.
Can somebody on council ask for that money for Bill for their candidate forum? That's just not something not taken care of. But somebody on the council will make a proposal to ask for some money so that they can feed. It'd be a good idea to do it now and get it over with.
Anita, I brought up, we could probably take it out of the elders fund up here, you know? I don't think that would be a problem, so that they can have a meal.
Yeah, I think we can do consensus vote on that.
Yeah,
I'm in favor of it.
I am too, so. We just gotta let Scott know or whoever.
Let Curtis know what you're gonna order and work with Curtis.
Cause I don't think cookies.
If we can take, that way, where we went before is, on originally, I think it was from 10 to 12 noon and then from 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. on it. I asked what the 2 hours were for, if we weren't gonna eat or anything like that, so we could have a test in there for a half hour for lunch if we had lunch. Otherwise, they had the cookies out and stuff at noon and put them out and stuff. If they had a small sandwich bar or something like that, that would.
Okay.
Sam,
All
you
right.
guys can work with, Curtis and Aisha, she just said she could
All righty,
for
thanks.
that.
Sandwich and 2 coffee.
Yep.
Hot dogs.
I'll take this back to, in fact, I've got a meeting with Pamela here in a few minutes to go over that and all.
All right, we good, elders, for your update. Appreciate that. Next up on the agenda is, I know Housing is going to present next month for April's meeting. I have a little update from IHS here. It's, I know this is field clinic openings. We're currently working on plans to open up Nadawash, Pine Point, and Rice Lake on a staggered schedule, with Nadawash opening first Monday through Friday beginning April 25th. Pine Point will be open June 13th on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Rice Lake will be open on Thursdays beginning July 7th. Please note that these dates may change depending on the circumstances at the time. And also they talk about they have the infusion program now at the White Earth Health Clinic. I know they work collaboratively with Home Health, which will give the dose. So if anyone gets COVID, especially the elders, contact IHS, and they do have the antibiotic infusion. Yes, Sam?
When's Pine Point opening, Mike?
Pine Point is opening on April, hang on here, nope, June 13th, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, that's what I got from IHS. I know the college we'll have the college here next month too. So next up is community council updates. I'll go down the list again. If Sophie here, if you want to say a few words, let me know. Callaway, Double Lake, Iron Range, Monoman, Netawash.
Bonjour. Our chairwoman is here, but I think she snuck off into another conference. Oh, there she is. She left us. She's like, go sit up here. I didn't realize she was there. So she's gonna have me present. So dear Tribal Council, we hope everyone is well. NCC continues to be busy. We are now, after 2 years, we are feeling confident we can start holding more events as the COVID-19 pandemic is subsiding. We would like to submit our request again. This is the 10th month. A functioning community center, our fire department, and a boxing center so we can have a workout center because our health is important too. We are now requesting the ARP budget and what is left. Our other question is, when do you plan to make a decision? If we are not being considered, can you please let us know so we can move on? We are adding one additional request. Our charter school is in serious need of expansion. There are over 140 students in the school, and it is past capacity. We would like to see, what we would like to see is a conversation started between the Boys and Girls Club and the Netawash community and the charter school. We would like to move our Boys and Girls Club to the charter school site. And if you could let us know what it would take to make this happen and to have these conversations. Easter is next month. We are requesting Class 2 youth funding in the amount of $2,500. We would like to purchase a snow cone machine and kites, as well as candy, plastic eggs, door prizes for our youth in the village. We did not submit the paperwork like we have in the past because we have noticed that this request is usually extended to the rest of the community councils, and we appreciate that. We did request the budget of this fund in the past and haven't received any information or have been contacted. We request this again. We need a 501c3. Should we just start this without the assistance of the RBC? And lastly, we are selling raffle tickets. We are only selling 250 tickets at $25. All proceeds will go to funding the number of events we have planned. NCC has a question about the March 13 high-speed chase that ended in an officer-involved shooting. Everyone understands that there is an active investigation and there are things that cannot be released. We know this investigation was led by the BCA, but we would have appreciated if somebody would have made a statement or would have come out to the village to reassure us that things were okay. There were rumors that were circulating for 10 hours that were very serious. There was information that could have been shared that would have reassured the community. A tribal member was shot by police on White Earth in your largest village. There were children who are awake and witnessed this. We had people that witnessed this that were never interviewed. This also brings up other issues. One is the high-speed chases. We know this was Monoman, but it doesn't matter which agency is pursuing a suspect or what time of day it is. Netawash always has community members out walking. And this is very unsafe. Our limited knowledge of discontinuing a pursuit is when there is a clear and unreasonable danger to people. We would like a written policy and an agreement with other law enforcement agencies that this will be addressed. We do not want high-speed pursuits through our village. And we have submitted a letter to the Chief of Police and Housing about the concerns we're receiving about issues in Mahnomen. One concern came from a Naytawash community member, and some have come from Mahnomen community members. NCC did reach out and briefly discuss this with a Mahnomen Community Council member as to not to overstep our boundaries, but we are concerned for our community member, and that information has been sent. Sincerely, NCC.
Say, Carol, can you ask for an answer on that fire department, because this has been going on too long. They need, we got a no experience, no product green team that was given 4.9 million, and now they want another 200,000. Why can't we give that to the fire department? Because that has a direct effect on the lives of our members right now. Our homes, the families, the children. We need that fire department to be equipped, so I would ask you to ask for a dollar amount. Ask for that 200,000.
So
We need that.
This was one of the things because the Naytawash Fire Department does respond, not just only locally in our village, but I know when they were here in Mahnomen for the Senex fire, we had a tribal member with a non-working, what did she have?
SCBA suit. There's the SCBA.
That's her oxygen. The gauge wasn't working. Like, this is like going in, whether it be a house, whether it be a garage, whether it be a business. And this is like life or death safety. I know White Earth Fire Department also has that on there, but we would be happy if we could get an answer on the 2,500 today or what, just so we can start planning Easter.
If I may, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I do agree with them that we need to move on these fire department requests because they've been sitting there for almost, a year? If that, so I think that we have to get them done. And like Tara stated, they had nothing for oxygen. I mean, that's a big issue right there. I mean, how are we gonna save our people if we don't even have the proper equipment? And also, I'll move for the 2,500 for Easter, out of our youth fund up here. And let's just do the community councils again, so they can be done. And be good, Kara, for bringing that forward. So if somebody wants a second, I don't know, but I'll move to do the 2,500 for
Okay.
each community council.
Right now, we have a motion for the $2,500 for Easter for the community councils. And we have a motion by Annie. And this goes for all of our community councils that want to put in a Easter program or something that wants to submit something to us, then you'll receive the money.
Second, Chair.
Second by Raymond, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, motion carries. Miigwech, thank you. But we will get information for you on the fire departments. I know I just asked Tracy if we budget anything for that, but that's one thing I know Al's gonna probably talk about in the fiscal report probably next month, that we'll we have to figure something out what we're gonna do, so. But yeah, that is concerning, so, but we will address it soon.
I just want to clarify something, Mr. Chair. I'm on record several times over the past months, for 6 months actually, since last summer, of trying to get these fire departments approved. So I want to clarify that.
But I know we have a ARPA budget here we've been looking at passing, so I think we'll have to sit down with Tracy and we'll bring something to the table next month, so. The planning committee with that will.
Can we, Mr. Chair, can we do
Yes.
a, special meeting on that? Because, you know, my concern is what if they need that, you know, respirator or whatever it is out there again, and we have nothing for our members out there, you know, so I think that has to be done immediately or as soon as possible.
You guys have had the ARPA budget for months. It's always been with the council for months.
Yeah, we'll have to meet with Tracy probably early next week and see what all of us council and figure out what we can get to the fire department, so. Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Cass Lake here. Pine Point.
I would like to respond to Nato. I guess what I would like to talk about is I understand I got the letter from the Natoash Community Council on the concerns. The first thing I would like to let everybody know is that law enforcement does have policy and protocol for high-speed pursuits. They do. One of the things is that the chief law enforcement officer for each agency has that power to call off chases and stuff like that. It's their responsibility to do that. So we do have policy and procedure on high-speed pursuits. So that's one thing I just wanted to clear up. The other thing is some of the concerns that was in the letter that I received, housing received it too, is so, like before, we talked about things that happen and things that law enforcement can do and things that law enforcement can't do right away. There's protocols also for that. So we have been working very closely, ever since the reactionary thing at this building that we're talking about. And we are working with security. I thought we were until I got this letter. Well, I say we are because I talked to my staff and they said that they are working closely with security at that building to get the challenges at that building that need to be addressed and stuff like that. So I would just like to respond to that because I do think that we, as law enforcement, there's a lot of things that happen in a couple of weeks. And I just want to let everybody know that the things that happen there, just be patient with us. The truth will come out with everything. So just be patient. Big Rich, thank you.
Big Rich. Okay, Pine Point, I think I left off at. Rice Lake. Waban. Mine is here with Waban.
I feel bad going after Natoash because I don't. So what I'm gonna say though, in relation to the $2,500, when we talk about getting money donated to the community councils, once again, not all community councils need that same amount of money. So for Waban, we don't need $2,500 for our population. So I don't know how we can, that's just come to mind right away when you said that. We have an event planned for the 24th and it's kind of our coming out of winter. We're doing a feast at Pappy's and then Sundown has donated their space to us to do a family dance. We have emphasized that to be alcohol-free and that there would be none served during that time. So we are moving forward with that. So with the $2,500, I'm gonna willfully decline that and donate it to either share it between White Earth and Natoash, okay? Because we don't need that, okay?
Thank you.
Yep, it's hard for us because we just don't need that right now. So the other thing is we're working with our community, our businesses in our community for this feast and for the dance. Our businesses have come forward to our community council with severe challenges with the city council. So we're kind of working with them. They did point out that every business that is owned in Waban is tribally owned. So that was I thought that was pretty awesome. So they are wanting to give back to the community, wanting to give back to the schools and some scholarships. So Waban no longer has like a Waban Days is what we had. So the businesses want to help us in doing that. We did do a little event last year. We hosted a parade and a picnic in the park and then hosted the softball tournament. And they want to continue to do that and move that forward. So, and then I know I've emphasized that we cannot promote any alcohol or drugs. It has to be sober. So the events that will be promoted by the businesses will be on their own doing. But if they raise any money, they want to donate it back somehow. So that might be some kind of a way for our community council to kind of stay afloat without needing any extra money, okay? So that's really all I have. We had elections. We have 8 active members. I know one member is kind of on board. He got a new job, bless his soul. So he might have to resign, and that's Cole Thompson, but I'm trying to just keep him on until he gets through his training and figure out if he can stay on or not. But if we have people that are out there that want to be on the Waban Community Council, please message me. Any questions for us? Thank you.
Oh, forget the band. I know you got the band. We'll go to White Earth next. So.
Ani ni squash Egypt Indigenous magazine Dudem Kawabag and Danakag and Dojaba. Hello everyone, my name is Brandon Kier, everyone knows me as. I'm the chairman of the White Earth Community Council. I'm just here today to brief up a few things we did in March. On March 5th, the WECC held a rummage sale. We made over $300. And then on March 7th, we held a taco sale for a fundraiser for our Easter event. We made over $350. So we got 600, well, almost 700 for our Easter event. On Sunday, in April 17th, on Sunday, we're gonna do a Easter egg hunt. And the 16th, we're gonna hand out Easter baskets for Saturday, because not all of our community, WECC members could be there at the same day, so. Our schedule is getting quite filled during the week, so it's really awesome. On Mondays, we have open gym from 6:30 to 9. Tuesday, we have culture nights. And with that, it's going really good on Tuesdays and Thursdays now. But Don Kier is helping me with the ladies, with the girls, the teenage girls. Sitting down, talking with them, smudging, whatnot. I don't know what they're talking about, but that's their business. So she's doing really well with them. They really look forward to that. Then Wednesdays and Fridays, there's also open gym too for 13 on up from 6:30 to 9:30. We're doing a survey, I just had it here, for a PSC request for 5,000. It's through the Gina Boudreau and her program. So I didn't get to hand it out yet, so I still got to go door to door, hand some surveys out, get that what the community wants for 5,000. If it's outside or inside, what they want to see. So last but least, we also holding a candidate meeting at the White Earth Community Center for March 30th. Annie brought that up earlier. So we ran in the same bubble. They wanted me to ask the RBC, our community council, about food, but I think we could donate 100 for some food. I can make some chili or something simple. So that's about it. Oh, and then the other thing, while I'm here, the 2 things we have on the table, I don't know if you guys tabled it or what, the splash pad and the powwow. The reason of the powwow was because there was, from New Year's, from the Dennis Isgum powwow to now, there's nothing going on in White Earth culture-wise, besides the drum nights and stuff. So that's, my kids, like they're ready to start on a powwow, so that's why I came up with that idea in the community council. So, but that's about what we have. If you guys want to talk with the, I don't know if you guys, I haven't met with you guys on the splash pad, or I know it's a busy past month, so that's all I have.
Thank you, Bam, for the update. You know, I'll ask Tracy if we added White Earth to the other community council budgets. I think every other committee, like Pine Point, Nadawash, they get 25,000. So I think that she's gonna double check on that. So I think that White Earth is budgeted in for your own powwow. I think you're gonna have it in July or August, so. But that's good. All right, last one is the White Earth Urban here today?
Mike?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, I did get a update from them. Is it in the packet?
Yes.
Okay, there is a email here from the Urban Council related to their elections down there. I know they're having their annual, well, not their annual, their bylaws elections. And I was gonna reach out to the legal department and Curtis to see if he could kind of help the Urban Community Council navigate this process. I know that they're planning for April 5th down there. But there is, I've heard from community members that are saying that, you know, why is one position not subject to election when they all should be subject to election? And I know, but however, on the other hand, I know that the Urban Council recently changed its bylaws. And there's also discussion around this nomination committee down there. I'll forward you some communication that I had received from some of the members and from the Urban Community Council. Just looking for legal department, maybe Curtis to kind of help us navigate that. But there is some folks down there. I know they're having their elections coming up here in a few weeks. So I was hoping if Curtis and Lenny could help us take a look at that.
Be good, Chow, for that update for Urban. So next up is we have old business, but before that, we'll take a little break, probably a 10-minute break, so stretch your legs.
Well, she's out. Here's the thing, is it's a big room that we can